there, everyone. It's Kathleen at Crafts by Kathleen. Yes, I know I'm a little bit late. It's not quite 9 o'clock, but Rocky's giving us a little bit of trouble not eating and stuff. So we've had a couple of mornings that we wanted to be here earlier, but we weren't quite here early enough. So that being said, today on our live, I wanted to do a cards and coffee wrap up. So this is the card that we made, and I call this the hidden circle. Okay, so I know that there's probably another name for it. It's a basic Z-fold card, but I'm going to show you how we put this together so that everything lines up perfectly. Yeah, I call this the hidden circle card, and I enjoy making it because when you're doing a Z-fold card, my challenge is this section right here, this right here. So if you're just doing a Z-fold and you've got, one little character or some type of an element over here and nothing going on over here, when you write your sentiment, half of it's hanging out, or you might put a little square in there or something, you want to cover whatever is on that side of your Z-fold card. So I call this the hidden circle because I've used circle dies and I've lined them up so that you have a nice border around this outside circle with an equally as nice border when you open it. Plus, when you're setting it up, it kind of has that depth look to it. So let's, I had a little hair on my side of my face that was getting me. All right, so let's get to it and make this card. All right, so again, it's a A2 card. So we're going to use a base that is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. And we're going to fold it. Now you can score this at 2 1/8 or 4 1/4, or you can do this simple little thing. Fold it in half. And let me get my bone folder. Okay. And then you're going to take the front of the card and fold it back on itself. All right, so that gives you that Z fold, all right? So now you've got it all set to Z fold, all right? And you see what I mean? So if there's nothing covering over here, this would all be hanging out, all right? So we're going to get this all decorated. So the first thing we're going to do is I already cut, so this is 5.5. These are going to be 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. Okay, and then we're going to do the inside at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so that's going to go there and that's going to go there. So let me get my glue. And I already pulled my little Mickey Mouse off there, Minnie Mouse. Why do I keep calling it Mickey Mouse? I've done that a couple times. All right, so now we're going to add our glue here. And I'm just using some decorative paper. This is some of the Scrapbook Supply Company paper. And hey, good news. Our exciting new paper line that I designed is coming out next week. All right, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right, so we've got that glued in there, and then we're going to take these two little pieces that are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. Now the reason it's 1 7/8, it's not just going down 1/8 of an inch. This is 2 1/8 inches, so a quarter away from that is 7/8. So 5 1/4 by 7/8 is going here. 1 7/8, I'm sorry. 5 1/4 by 1 7/8 is going there. I'm just going to glue that right down there. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to glue that to the front. Alright. So there's our decorating for our decorative paper, our print paper, our pattern paper, DSP, whatever it is that you like to call it. So we've got that all together. Now we're going to get out our Gina K Intercut. Make sure I'm on die cut. Lay it down and lock it in. There, it's locked in, so it's suctioned on there. get out my beautiful magnet plates. I'm going to take some white cardstock and I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to fold it in half because I want to cut out 2 at a time. Why? Save time. All right, and then I'm going to also take the same color paper, which this is as close as I can get to the lilac. So this is very, very close to her lilac paper. That's the medium lilac. This is the dark lilac. So it's like right in between medium and dark lilac. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut that, or fold that in half. All right, so that I can cut all these circles at the same time, because you're going to need 2 white ones and 2 of the lilac ones. The lilac one I'm going to cut out of this little scalloped edging circle that was out of Master Layouts 8. And then the white one, I'm cutting out just the plain round circle. So both of those come in the Master Layouts 8. All right, now I'm gonna put this down in here, put it in my Intercut, move my glue out of the way, and I'm going to crank it through. And I always put my hand there because sometimes it wants to shoot at the end. See how it would have shot? So I don't want that zipping across the desk. Now let me make sure everything cut out all right. Okay, my white circles are good. And my lilac circles are good. So I'm going to take my Intercut, fold it up. See how easy it comes off after you fold it? It's these great suction cups that are on the bottom. It really adheres nice, especially like with these larger glass mats. It adheres right on there. It's not going to do a lot of moving around on you. All right, now we're going to stamp our picture and our sentiment. So what I'm doing is using an oldie but a goodie. You guys know this is my absolute favorite stamp set. All right, turn it around. Look, you can see how stained it is. I've used every single one of these stamps. I even lost one of the little birds. So if anybody from Gina K's watching and you have an extra one of these little birds, I could really use one. Yeah, I use this stamp set, and I refer this stamp set to anybody that comes in and says they're new to stamping. This is one of those stamp sets that you don't have to do a lot of coloring. You don't have to use a lot of imagination, but it can build on your imagination, okay? Because there's so much that you can do with it. My very, very favorite thing to do with this stamp set is this lighthouse right here, and these birds that we're going to be using today. Matter of fact, this picture reminds me of a picture that I have been drawing since I was probably in 1st or 2nd grade, because we used to go down to the Jersey Shore every year. We had a camper down there, and this little pylon with the seagulls on it is just a common thing that you see down the Jersey Shore, and I'm sure it's a common thing you see anywhere that's beach related. So I started drawing this a very long time ago. Matter of fact, I can draw it in my sleep now. But that is what drew me to this stamp set. And then after I got it, I was like, holy cow. All you have to do is a little blue ink blending in the back, and then stamp these in any color. Black is usually what I do with the blue. Today we're going to be stamping this in the lilac to match our card. This one I had done with the, what are these called? I should memorize these. The, what's this? Sea Life, Ocean Life? Serene Sea Life. So, you know, my favorite thing is sea turtles. I love sea turtles, and this one is just one of my absolute favorites. So these are always in my stash. So we're going to be using this one here, and we're going to do some stamping. Now, we're going to stamp on the circles. So what I did was I set up my platform it's a circle. You don't have to have your stamp completely straight. So you'll notice this stamp is really crooked. All right. So this is going to be the outside stamp. And we're just going to put this circle right here in this corner, making sure it's touching both sides there. And then I want to put a magnet on there. All right. So my magnet is going to go right up here. I want to make sure it's not going to touch. Nope. And then I'm going to put this circle in this lower corner here, touching both sides. And I want to put a magnet where that's not going to touch. All right, so right here is good. Yep. All right, so now that way I can stamp the outside and the inside at the same time. I'm going to use my dark lilac. I'm going to ink up my stamps. And I'm using a stamping platform because I want a nice, crisp, sharp image, because these cards are so cute, and whenever you want a nice, crisp, sharp image, your stamping platforms are always the best. Now, I use quite a few of them. This is something that I got at a yard sale or one of the Trash the Treasures. I've got my favorite one is my, what's it called? The stamping wheel. The stamping wheel from Altenew. So we're going to be getting more of those in soon. Now, they came out with the new 2.0 stamping wheel, and I have not used it yet, but one of the sides comes off so that you can put bigger papers in there, and I'm a little excited about that. However, they are a little bit expensive. Just saying. All right, so this one is good. I want to do just a little bit more on that C, so I'm going to ink this bottom one more time and go down over that C and give it a little extra love. There, oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I got a nice smooth inside and a beautiful outside. All right, now we're just I'm gonna clean this afterwards because I did leave my tidy towel and everything out there. All right, so let me show you how to make sure. Now, we're using scallops, so I don't want my scallops all off, okay, because then it kind of looks solid. I want them to line up. Now, the way that we do this is my way. This doesn't have to be your way, but this is the way that works best for me. I'm going to put my first one down in the center on the front, and I'm going to line up top and bottom scallops. See how that one's lined up right over top there? And I'm pretty even. So I'm going to do half of this with glue. Get my glue on half of this. All right. I want to be nice and even, and I want these lined up. Okay, see my scallops are lined up there. And I've glued that down. Now what I do is I open this up. Let me get that little bit of glue off there. I don't want this one to stick to it. And I laid this one right on top of it, making sure all of the scallops are lined up. These two are lined up. These are all lined up on the side, okay? So that all of your scallops are back to back. All right, now this one I'm going to put glue on the entire circle. Then I'm going to make sure that everything stayed lined up, that I didn't move anything. And then I'm just going to take this and close it over top of it and rub that down, and then pick it up and see all of my scallops are all lined up. Okay, now all I have to do is put my circles on the center of those scallop circles. So these circles that we stamped now get glued down onto those scallop circles. And I guess I should have brought in some gems, and we could have put a couple of gems on the front of it, but I didn't bring in any gems. All right, so we're going to put that right there. Then we're going to open this one, and we're going to put this one right there so that we can line it up and make sure it's straight. All right, and there we go. That's my hidden circle. See that? And then when it opens, you can do it, set it up. Well, you can't really see, but that way you have a little bit of depth there. Well, hello, Kara. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you too. All right, so again, this is one of those cards that you can use anything in your stash to make it with. You can see I use the medium lilac on this one. I use the dark lilac on this one. And this paper that I said was the closest thing, I think it matches like somewhere right in between the medium and the dark. But this is one of those cards. You can use anything in your stash. You can use any decorative paper that you have, any print pattern paper that you have, any stamp set that kind of matches your pattern paper. You can do it for happy birthdays, congratulations, wedding cards, anything. Peggy Gleason, hi, how are you? We're waiting to see you get back here soon. I hope everything's going well. Yes, so this is not a card that you have to use any certain stamp or any certain designer paper with. This is a card that you can go into your stash and pull out some stamps, maybe your favorite stamp. Like I said, this stamp set here has got to be 3, maybe 4 years old, and I use it multiple times a year. You'll see this stamp set again and again and again. And of course, we're down here in Florida, so I love doing like seashell things or sea beachy type things. So that's one of the reasons. But it's such an easy stamp set to work with. And if you're new to stamping, I highly recommend you getting, I think it's called Ocean Minded. Yeah, I think it's called Ocean Minded, but we have it here at the shop all the time. I try never to run out of this stamp set because this is the stamp set that I always refer new stampers to. So I hope that I've inspired you to go through your stash and pull out some decorative paper, pull out some stamps, and start playing with paper. All right, we'll see you again here soon. Bye-bye.